Here's a problem I've ran into in the past while installing tubs and showers in removing a bathtub or a shower and then installing a new unit that might not fit exactly, and of course leaves you a gap between the existing floor. Now if you're going to replace the floor, obviously you're not going to have this problem, but if you're not, then I've actually just installed a piece of wood trim here before. And the wood trim, you can get it in, a few different sizes. If you have a 3/4 inch gap, you're going to be able to fill it with a piece of wood. Anything larger than that might be a problem. But if you are going to fill it with some piece of trim, I would suggest avoiding wood. Again, I've done this in the past. The wood will actually get moisture from the shower and start to mold and rot. I would suggest using something that wouldn't, and I believe they still sell it. It's like a styrofoam wood trim. This stuff seems to work pretty good, but you're going to need to make sure that you glue it or put enough caulking down there to where you really get a nice seal, because you don't want water running behind this thing into this gap and rotting out any of the wood floor or causing any mold. Now there is one more thing you can do. It's a little more work, but if you don't want to use the trim on the bottom because you know it's going to be a pain in the butt, it's going to rot, whatever in the future, you could always move the unit, shower, bathtub forward to where the gap is closed, the unit is tied up against the existing flooring, and then work with the back of the tub. You could put some drywall. If it's a 1/4 inch gap, 1/2 inch gap, you just add another 1/2 inch sheet of drywall to the back of this thing and finish it off. Now, like I said, it's a lot more work than putting a piece of trim down there. And the only reason why I'm making this video is just to provide you with another idea, something that I've done in the past. Because the wood trim at the base of the shower or bathtub, this thing can get wet, and if it's wood, it can rot in a hurry. And if it's styrofoam or a different type of material that does not rot, it's not going to rot when water hits it. You still got to worry about mold sometimes. So any water that gets behind this piece of trim, in between the bathtub or shower unit and the wood trim, and then leaks behind that to a wood floor or even concrete, could create other problems. Obviously concrete would be better than the wood floor, but if you have a wood floor you're putting this on, you could be in for a shock when you go to remove that piece of trim and find out that the floor's rotted. So that's why I'm suggesting this. Now let's just say that you have a unit that's 4 inches smaller than the previous one. And if this is the case, and if the plumbing works out fine, and you just don't want to replace the floor, then maybe you could always build a shelf in the back. So instead of extending the drywall out 4 inches, which again, this is a possibility also, you could always just build a shelf. Now there is another thing you could do. If you're a finished carpenter, you don't want to go through all this. You could always trim the back of the wall out with a piece of paneling or something and just trim around the edges. So, if this is the case, you would actually just build the wall out whatever distance it needed to be, 1/4 inch to 4 inches. You could just you could do it by building a little wall behind this, and then nailing a piece of paneling to the little wall, and then trimming around this square area here and the window. And I hope that makes sense what I'm talking about. Again, it's just another option here. I'd rather see the drywall with the paint. I like that look. I like everything to match. But you could always paint the paneling and the trim with the same paint you're painting on the walls, and that should be acceptable. So that's it for the video. Don't forget, if you guys and gals have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment area or email them to me with some pictures, and I will see if I can answer them as soon as possible, or at least provide you with an answer that might get you going in the right direction. I might not always have the right answer, but I can usually have enough information, or can provide you with enough information to get you going in the right direction.